And welcome back.
Welcome back. Yes, and we're here with Tony Miles from the Caring Place, and we're so glad to have her. She's one of our favorite guests. Well, all of our guests are favorite. I shouldn't say that, should I? But she is very special.
She's our favorite.
I am
can be.
the favorite.
She is the favorite, yes.
Make everybody jealous out there.
That's
okay.
right,
Yeah.
sweet lady. And you just had your big fundraiser, your breakfast at
Yes.
First Baptist a few weeks ago.
Yes,
and
behind the Hope Door. Oh my God.
we want to hear an update on that.
Okay. Well, we had over 200 attendees to come for the breakfast. It's a 1-hour free breakfast in which the Caring Place tells its story. We had great testimonies, and we shared this year our Vision 2017 and beyond. Dr. Randy Howard, which is a new vision he cast for our future of the Caring Place. And then we had a great ask, because it is always about raising friends that will come alongside of us and partner with us in time, talent, and treasure. And I'm here to report that as of yesterday, we crossed over $100,000
Oh my goodness.
in 1
that is
hour.
awesome.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
And people don't know, but it's needed. It continues to help us to keep the door open, but more importantly, giving us the funds to sustain the Caring Place. And it will help us to sustain this new vision that we have about equipping and empowering the people that we're currently serving right now to step out of their circumstances and move from surviving to thriving. So we're excited.
I
Excited.
know you are. I know. And the breakfast, I have to say, was fabulous. Josh and I were there. And,
Thank you guys for
sorry,
being
am I
there.
not speaking? The food was excellent. I mean, the
Oh,
whole
First
setup.
Baptist. Now, let
Okay.
me say this. That this is their second year coming alongside of us, and they're a sponsor of this. So we paid. We didn't have to pay for anything. And that breakfast, and it's not supposed to quite be that way, but that breakfast is just so good.
It was fabulous. They're so generous.
Yes.
With their time and treasures, like you said,
Yes.
and just really made a very nice presentation, and it just added to the whole morning.
Yes. And we celebrated 16 years of the Caring Place, but at the same time, we wanted to celebrate the future going forward. Reba Terry had done a phenomenal job for 16 years, and but we also then wanted to embrace and celebrate Dr. Randy Howard's leadership as we move forward.
Yes.
So, we're
Well, and the
excited.
vision that you have going forward, I mean, it's stepping out there in
Yes.
faith and with the partners that have come alongside you, and especially after this event,
Yes.
just stepping up to the plate, because you all do a wonderful job. And I think, and I don't know, Josh may have something to add, but that morning, just to hear the partnerships, the goal to have the
Yes.
partnerships with other organizations in this community under one
One
roof.
roof.
Who'd have thought? I mean, it just
Yeah.
seems so practical and obvious that this is what needs to happen.
Well, it is, we believe it's God's vision, and we have great examples in this area. You have the City of Refuge in Atlanta. You have the Community Kitchen in Chattanooga, where a lot of organizations came together to service lots of people and make it easy for them to get the services they need. Because if they're coming to you for food and clothing, they're desperate. And so, but usually that's just a symptom of the true root cause. And so when you have our social workers digging in, and then you find out they need this, or they need something else over here, but we don't have that at the Caring Place. But the Refuge does,
Right.
has that help to empower them. But then you got to say, okay, now you got to go to this place.
Yes.
And
they have
nine
to
times-
find transportation.
Transportation, or even, they may not even have the gas money to get there. So when they leave our doors, we're not even sure, even though they have the information and knowledge now to get additional help, we're not sure they can get there. So to really this dream of ours to put a lot of these services that are necessary to move from surviving to striving under one roof, and that we all can come alongside of these people, these families, and love them through this process together. I mean, there's power in unity.
Right.
And
Yes.
so, and it's what God, that's his plan. You know, you go back to Acts, the original church, they walked with them.
Right.
And no one was needy.
Right.
So,
yes, and to come alongside them and, like you said, empower them. And, you know, Haley Johnston was on earlier,
yes.
and her organization, it's equipping people to lift themselves up.
Yes.
And not just depend on the handouts.
Right.
Time and time and time again. And that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
To have the organizations come in and work together to help these people long term, to be successful
Yes.
in their lives and their children's lives, and to stop that cycle.
Yes, because we have to break that. And we have to do that because what happened is we are passing down generation to generation the same old, same old, same
Yes.
old.
Yes.
And so, we're still going to be there for the emergency services because that is important. Because to even get a person to move them, you first have to respond to the need at hand.
Sure.
So
Right.
emergency services like food and clothing, we're still going to be there, but we want to also be able to provide the next step, you know, and then the next step.
Right.
And then the next step, and then hopefully release. And
Yes.
release them stronger than they've ever been so that they can stand on their own 2 feet.
I know. I love it. I mean, and right here
I
in
get
this
chills.
community, I know it's a great vision, a great goal, and we're going to see it come to
Yes.
fruition.
Yes.
I know we are.
Yes.
Well, and today, one more thing that you guys do
Yes.
is the community coat drive, and it's started.
It has started last week. Let me first say this. Danny Poole and Leanne Poole, we love this family, and they really are the leaders of this community coat drive. We are the benefactors. We get the coats. But he does this for this community. It used to be a United Way program. Danny has taken it, and he's been running it the last few years. And not only does he lead this, but he also, his 2 cleaners, Superior and Classique, clean all the gently used coats and then deliver them to the caring place. And I'm telling you, this community is awesome when it comes to this community coat drive. Last year, we thought we were hoping for like 1,000 coats, and we received over 1,500 coats.
Right.
Okay, I kept telling you, kept asking me for a final number, and it just kept coming. It kept coming, and so our dream is bigger this year. We just said, you know what, we're not going to put a number on it. We're just expecting for God to do as He always does, just the best. And we got new coats. That was the other thing. There were a lot of coats that we didn't even have to go to the cleaners.
Yes.
And blankets. And so this year we added blankets as part of the coat drive because that's just as important because I hear we're having another winter like we had last year. So these blankets will be just as important as the coats. So we're excited about this. And this will run until December 31st.
Okay, and then, like you said, just the generosity of this community. And the Pools, oh my goodness, big-hearted.
Huge.
Tell him I'm upset that he is not here
Well,
today.
they're on vacation.
Okay,
well,
he
this
is
week-
forgiven then because he always comes with you for this.
He does. He said, why don't you go ahead and take care of that TV thing, and I'll get back next week. He said, maybe I'll go on the radio. I think my face is better for radio. He is too funny. But he wanted to get this out. He wanted the community to start stopping by the different drop-off locations. You have the flyer up, and there's a list of businesses and churches that are involved, and that's where you take the coats to be clean, take them, and he will pick them up. Boxes are already distributed at those locations. You
They're
just
already out
drop
there?
them off. Huh?
They're already there, the boxes?
They're already there. They were
Nice.
all delivered by last Friday. We have Superior Cleaners. Boxes are up, of course, in Classique. Anthony's Federal, all locations. Bank of Cleveland, all locations. Regions Bank, all locations. The Cleveland Chamber of Commerce. Bayer Consumer Care Company is also a part of this. The churches, Grace Point, Community Hall Church, Dwelling Place Church International. I'll give a shout out. That's my church. And also Westmore Church of God, Candace Creek City Church, and Candace Creek Baptist Church. So you can just drop off all the gently used coats there, our new coats, and we'll be picking up from those places every Wednesday. And he'll clean those that need to be cleaned. And we are already distributing. We started actually this week distributing some coats and jackets. So yes.
Wow.
Oh, and that's a good question. So once you get them in, they go out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You don't
They
wait
get
until
delivered to the Karen. No, we're not waiting because we want them to have those the day the temperature drops.
Okay.
We want them to have access to their coats and our blankets or whatever they need. So we are beginning to put those things out.
Okay. And if someone is in need of these coats, do they
Come
contact
to the
you?
yes, they just come to the caring place.
Okay.
You know, even if they're not coming for food necessarily, but they need a coat, then they come to the caring place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's awesome.
So last year was very successful. I remember you just mentioned that, and
Yes.
I remember seeing some of the bins,
Yes.
overflowing
Yes.
and getting picked up and then getting refilled.
Right.
So if this year someone doesn't have a coat, they don't have a blanket, but is there something else, like, I know it's a coat drive, but is there something that the caring place just goes through all the time and they don't need a drive or a reason to come by and donate that to the caring place?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes. The needs are always great at the caring place. In particular for men. Clothing for men. I mean, you
Okay.
guys don't get rid of anything. You wear it out. Not unlike us women, okay? But men clothing, especially for larger men, tall men, it's just anywhere. Shoes for men, that is huge. Steel-toe boots are huge because usually it's a difference between them and getting a job.
Okay.
They get on, but they need those boots, which they have to purchase. But if you haven't worked and you have no cash, you can't. It's hard to buy those. Now, sometimes we're able, because of generosity of this community, again, sometimes we have dollars that we can help purchase those. But if we could have those things donated, it works, because that's not always there. We're always in need of large women's clothes, the plus-size woman. Those are always in need. I hear that all the time sometimes for our larger women when they say, I couldn't find anything to fit. Or may I go into the men's department and get a shirt? So we need more of those types of things. Linens. Sheets, pillowcases, towels. I mean, the things we take for granted.
Right.
Those are huge. Other day, our door was shut because we didn't have any of those things. So there was a sign up, no towels and linens today. So that's huge. And then the one thing that I always love to tell people are hygiene products and washing powder and things like that. Because when you go to the grocery store, even if you have some cash or even you have food stamps, you can't use it for those things. It's for food. But the most expensive things a lot of times you have to buy, I know in my own grocery budget, is when I've got to buy washing powder. Dryer sheets, deodorant, lotion. I mean, again, those things are very expensive. So when you're on a very tight budget, it's just really hard. So those items they love it when we have that. And even toilet paper.
Things you don't think about.
You don't think about. I know we automatically think of the food and things like that, but those are other things that they are negotiating on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
That, do I buy that or do I buy food?
Wow.
And we would love for them not to have to negotiate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. There's a list of things. If
Oh,
you
I can.
can't
yeah.
think of a coat or a blanket that you have around the house or don't want to go buy one,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably do have some staples
Yes.
at your
Yes.
house that
All of these couponers out there that have
Yeah.
the hordes
The surplus.
of products, yes, in their
Yes.
garage on just shelf after shelf after shelf. I've seen the TV shows. Just help out the Caring Place and
Well,
pack
and you
up a
know, we're
box.
coming up, there's some great things going on. We love this time of year because everybody gets into the giving
generosity.
spirit. You know, it tends to increase around Thanksgiving, and that's wonderful. And we need that because the need goes up as well. And so we have an increase in people needing food. Somebody said, well, what you all doing for Thanksgiving? And we go, what do you mean? They said, well, are you doing something special? And we're like, we give food every day.
Every day is Thanksgiving.
Every day is Thanksgiving at the Caring Place. But it would be wonderful to have some of those items that we all enjoy at Thanksgiving than our typical food that we give them. It would be great to have those items donated as well. We got some upcoming food drives coming on. Southern Heritage Bank is getting ready to do their big food drive, and we are, again, the benefactor of 90% of that they do. But I can tell you what's really important. The surplus that we get during this time carries us through January, February, and March when people forget, and I'm sorry, but I want to be direct, people forget.
Right.
All of a sudden, that same giving spirit that takes on about October, November,
It's new,
goes
new
away.
Year, new quarter.
New year, new
Yes.
quarter, and they forget to give. And so that's why we love all of these food drives this time of year, because then we build up a surplus that carries us through what we call our famine, which is usually January, February, and March.
Yeah.
And you have to plan ahead.
Yes, we
for
do.
those.
We really do. We really do. So we're all
Now,
set.
what about real quickly? I'm sure people are thinking, oh, turkeys. We'll just donate turkeys, and but some people they don't have ovens to cook these turkeys. So I mean, wouldn't like just sliced turkey that's already prepared,
Well,
or is that
we
something
can't
you can keep?
really, and we can't distribute cooked food.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, that's something.
I'm
So
trying to-
that's why. Oh, I appreciate that, but that's why it's great for churches and other places like this to have these Thanksgiving dinners and all that.
Yes.
But for us, it really is. Most of the family we're serving though, that the 1,000 people that come through our doors every month have the ability, most of them, to cook. Now,
Okay.
we do have some of the homeless community that may not have and I will correct myself here. We don't like to use that word homeless. Families in transition, they may not have a means to cook. So we have special boxes that we give them, which is usually ready-to-eat food.
Okay.
So if people could get creative with ready-to-eat food for those boxes so that families in transition can be creative and create their own little Thanksgiving meal out of those boxes, that would be great. But we really cannot distribute cooked food. But the one thing people could do in this community, especially for families in transition, I know the homeless shelter here of Cleveland need meals delivered there. And I don't think every night that they're open, sometimes they don't always get a meal delivered there. And so people need to think about that as well.
Right.
You know, we're all in this together, so I'm just not here
Yes.
about the Caring Place. I'm here about representing the people and advocate for those who are in need right now. And so not only helping us, but if you could help the shelter, that is also needing meals during the evenings, that they are open to feed those 40 to 50 families that are in the shelter.
Okay.
Well, back to the strength of the network you mentioned.
Yeah.
If people don't know how to even get a hold of the homeless shelter or don't even know where to begin, they can just reach out to the Caring Place.
Yes.
A lot of people are familiar with it and have heard the name. But again, in a minute, remind us where you're at and the numbers, because if you don't necessarily help a certain way or a certain people group or a genre of need, you know exactly where to go with that so that you can point them in the right direction, because, I mean, the Caring Place has amazing strength because of that network.
We have our social services program, which is we have our social workers that are also on our campus that has a plethora of information about other services in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, they can call the Caring Place at 423-472-4414, and they can just ask whoever answers the phone, tell them your story, and they will connect you. We are located at 130 Wildwood, and we are open Tuesday through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and Tuesday nights from 6 to 8. So any of those times. But on Mondays you can call. We're not open to the public, but we are in the office, and we will handle any question as they come over the phone. And another great asset is United Way's 211 number as
Okay.
well, because it has a list of all the services here in the city. But like you said, we like to also love on people, and we know during that time when they're in need like that, one of the best things is for them to leave with hope, and you get that out of personal or human contact. So I would urge them to come to the Caring Place, and so that you walk away, so that your faith can be strengthened, and that comes because not only do we feed them in the natural, but we feed them spiritually.
Amen.
And I'm also mentioning that for not only people who have needs, but for the people who want to meet needs but don't know the best way to do it. They come to the Caring Place or call the Caring Place, and if you guys don't do it, you know who does.
Yes,
who will.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can feel the love
Oh,
from
yeah.
Tony.
Oh,
She's,
yeah.
And this is everyone at the Caring Place.
And we
They
need
reach out.
volunteers. I'm just telling you, we need volunteers. It takes 160 volunteers a month. And when I say that, a month, they're scheduled over a month. But it takes that for us to run the Caring Place efficiently. And we're sort of sitting around 130. So that says a whole lot right now. That means the staff is also not only doing their work, but they're also serving, which I love to serve because it keeps me humble and it keeps me in touch. But we need the help. And if you got an hour, you got 2 hours that you can give. We'll train you. Or if you just want to pray and just come and be a blessing and share a word as the people are coming through and shopping and receiving their food, we have a position for you. And you can just come and do that. Or if you're a background person, you can be in the warehouse, or you can be in the clothing department in the back room.
Awesome.
Lots of places to serve.
And you'll come back and remind us and be on the show again, won't you, when the food drive starts?
Right.
Right.
Exactly. I'll see if I can drag Lee Stewart up here, or Denise Armand, since it's their
Their baby.
food drive.
Yes.
And as I'm doing this, I don't want to get in trouble. So just real quickly, I know we're close to time, but also the first responders are doing a food drive on behalf of the Caring Place, and some are their special families. So I thought instead of me getting in trouble with everybody, let me just throw that out. Throw that out there as well.
I know. We've got great first responders, great
Yes.
community.
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
thank you so much for being with us today. And
Thank
don't
you.
forget the
Yes.
community coat drop. It's
Yes.
already started, and all of the locations you can drop off a gently used or new coat and blanket
Yes.
to help the Caring Place.
Yes.
Thanks so much, and we'll be right back.